Okay, good morning. Listen, people often say to me things like, they don't know what they think, they don't know what they'd love, they don't know what their beliefs are, they don't know what's holding them back, they don't know what runs them, what controls them, how they feel, often. But there's this simple way in which one can do that. One can find out exactly how they feel, what their beliefs are, how they feel about themselves, the extent of which they have self-love. It's a very simple way. And I want to share that way with you today. But first, let me introduce myself. My name is Judy V, and I work with entrepreneurially minded people to create the life of freedom that they deserve through being financially empowered. Now, when I say entrepreneurially minded people, I'm not talking about people who are necessarily what we call traditional entrepreneurs of their own business or self-employed. I'm talking about a mindset, an entrepreneurial mindset about how they run their life, okay? It's about taking responsibility for wealth building. It's about taking responsibility for your life and for creating the life that you would love rather than just assuming it will happen for you, okay? And so welcome to Build Wealth Wednesdays. We do this every Wednesday. And I want to talk to you today about unraveling your thoughts. Because here's the thing, I'm absolutely sure, like me, you have had times, and like many people I've spoken to over the years, you've had times where you literally want to get off the hamster wheel. You literally want to call freeze frame on life and just to get everything to stop for a moment. Just stop spinning for a minute so you can get off the hamster wheel and stop and think and take a moment to reflect, to review, to contemplate, to consider what is going on in your mind. And one of the things that we all experience is what I have come to call mind entanglement and being raveled up, all right? That's what I've come to call. Now, the only way that you can, in my mind, that you can actually freeze frame, because we can't do that, really, right? We know that. The only way, in my mind, there is to be able to do that and actually stop that hamster wheel and get off for a moment is through expressing ourselves. It's the only way that I know how to do that. Expressing ourselves through writing, because that gets it out of our head and onto paper. Handwriting, not typing, handwriting. Using the left and right brain to powerfully give ourselves the space to express. But here's the thing, most people are terrified of that. Most people are absolutely terrified to express because they're afraid of what comes out. And do you know why they're afraid of what comes out? It's because we've been socialized to be and told how to react, how to think, what to think, how to live our life, how to respond to situations. And dare I say it, I would imagine that, and I said this the other day in a live in one of my groups, I said very much like the stiff upper lip in the UK, it's a thing. It's a real thing. The stiff upper lip, it's a real thing. And whilst in the UK there is an expression for it, but here's the thing, it's worldwide. We all have this stiff upper lip. We all have this way of living that we live our life that is subjugated to what society says we should be doing, and that is living with this stiff upper lip. I say screw the stiff upper lip and express ourselves, okay? Say what you feel, write what you feel, allow yourself the time to unravel and untangle. Because if you don't know truly what it is you believe, if you don't truly know what it is that you would love, if you don't truly know what it is, what your boundaries are, what your values are, How do you know how to, one, love yourself, two, build self-worth? And if you don't know how to love yourself, build self-worth, you're not going to build net worth. Okay, and as I say, if you're not empowered financially, you won't be empowered in life. It is, for me, the most important bedrock for creating the life that is your birthright, that you were born for. It is the bedrock to creating and living what your heart desires. Okay, because our heart desires, that's our soul message, and how we live it is our mortal message. Okay, so we need to marry what our heart desires with what it manifests in the real world, energetically. Marry those together. If your heart desires something and you can't create that, manifest that in real life, what do you think that does for self-worth? What do you think that does for self-love? If you can't have what your heart truly desires. Now guys, listen, don't get me wrong. I am not talking about a fantasy of, my heart desires I win the lottery this weekend, I want to win 100 million, and I'm going to do blah, 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 blah. That's a fantasy, okay? It's not what the heart desires. That's what the ego desires. I'm talking about what the heart desires, okay? What you were born with, the burning desire that you have in your heart and soul, the burning desire that you dream about, daydream about, that has been with you and stood the test of time no matter what direction your life has taken. That's what I'm talking about. When you are able to manifest that in the real life, in real terms rather, in life, physically, in physical form, when you can manifest that in physical form, that's when you, what I call, marry your outer technology with your inner technology. That's when you marry your heart desires with real physical matter. Then you start accelerating your life. Then you start living, being, doing, having everything you were born for. Okay? This is when you truly start building self-worth, self-love, and when you start becoming the greatest version of yourself possible, when you start unlocking the fullest extent of your potential. If you're not doing that, you're living, what I say, 10% of your potential. You're living, driving in fifth gear with your handbrake on. Okay, what fun is there in that? That is painful, it's damaging, it's limiting, it's confusing, frustrating, causes hesitation, it causes procrastination. Get off the hamster wheel and, in a way, spiritually speaking, freeze frame. This is what I always think about. When many years ago, before I started the art of unraveling and untangling my thoughts, many years ago when I would paraglide, I wanted the world just to stop for a minute. And I'd be paragliding and soaring with the eagles above the world, and I looked down and you could see the curvature of the planet. It's incredible. I looked down and you're soaring with the eagles, and then all of a sudden something would bring me back to reality, bring me back to the present. Like, you know, thermals, I'd be hitting thermals and my glider would shake or part of it might collapse. And I think, oh gosh, all right, so stop. And I would want to pull the brakes so I could just stop the glider mid-air. Just freeze frame, just stop everything. It was the way I felt about life, and then as well. And I was doing it in my gliding, which is not advisable. And you don't want to be stalling your glider. It is quite dangerous. But that's how I felt in life as well. Like 25 years ago, just wanted the world to stop a minute. Just stop. So I could think. So I could just get my thoughts together. We need to create the space for us to do that, for us to be able to do that. Okay, we need to create give ourselves permission to create the space so we can do that. I promise you the most powerful way to do that is to express through writing. Giving yourself permission just to allow whatever wants to come out to come out. No filter, no limitation, no judgment, no editing. And just allow what wants to come out to come out. What comes out the first time if you're going to do it, comes out the first day, comes out the second day, comes out the third day. It might be not very earth-shattering stuff. Do it for 5 days, 6 days, 7 days, 8 days and more. You will start digging deeper beyond the conscious mind that is dominated by the stiff upper lip, and you will start penetrating into the deeper depths of your unconscious mind. You'll be alarmed at what comes out. And at first there might be a lot of anger that comes out, a lot of frustration, a lot of pain that comes out. But here's the thing. Allow it to come out, because over time it will lose power over you. And when it loses power over you, you're free. You're free as a bird. Okay, before I go any further, I just want to reiterate something that's very, very important. I've experienced this so much with people I've worked with over the years. When somebody is holding on to trauma, when it's holding on to angst, pain, suffering, caused by events that they've experienced, that they feel that was done to them, it begins to define them as they get older. I know this because that was my thing, okay, 25 years ago. I had a lot of angst to hold on to. And people are afraid to let that go because they think, well, if I don't have that, who am I? I know this is a thing for a lot of people, and they feel afraid to let that go because they think, what if I don't have it? Who am I? Trust me, I know what that feels like. And if I don't have it, who am I? Then I have to face that I'm nothing, I'm just a shell. Okay, that's a lie, let me tell you. It's an out and out lie. There's no truth in that, there's no validity in that. No matter what it is your ego might be trying to tell you, it's a lie. Because what I've experienced for me, for many, many others, is there is power, beauty, perfection, incredible vitality behind that. Do you know why? Because there's the truth of who you are, your spirit, your essence. And no mortal challenge, no mortal experience, no one can take that away from you. No one. Absolutely no one. You would be wise to have faith in understanding that you were born for a reason. You're here for a reason. You're far more than the sum of your experiences. When you allow yourself or give yourself permission to accept that, acknowledge that, then start giving yourself permission just to write. Don't type, write it. Okay? Even if after you finish writing, you literally burn it. Okay, it doesn't matter. It's the act of writing it. What that does is it untangles you. It unravels your thoughts. It's an extremely powerful process. And that is part of the 15-day challenge that I'm currently doing in my Wealth Breakthrough group. Some of the people in there's a lot of people taking part in it, are having incredible breakthroughs. And this week, we're focusing on topics around challenges, what it is you feel that has control over you, that you're not mastering, that you have resentment, emotion, you have pain or angst associated with. That's what we're talking about this week. And we're doing it in a way that's contained, that is safe, that is protected. And if you'd love to join, I'd love to have you with us. I'll put the link to the group below. It's 100% free, and you do it in your own time. There's just one caveat. I strongly believe in the power in doing this in the minutes after you wake up in the morning, because that's when your ego is at its less dominant, shall we say. It's at its most distant, okay? That is when our brain waves are in such a state that we are more connected to our heart and soul, to who we truly are. In those first 45 minutes, an hour, even Carl Jung spoke about it. It's when our ego is going to be have least input into what we're trying to say. Okay, and that's the most powerful time to do this exercise. Give yourself 10 minutes just to start writing. And it's the only caveat I ask of people who are doing this 15-day challenge. It's what I call the 15-day recharge challenge. 15 days to get unraveled, untangled, and start seeing and experiencing the truth behind the lies we tell ourselves. Release ourselves from this societal norm of the stiff upper lip and start allowing ourselves to express who we truly are. And when we do that, you know how easy it is to love yourself? And the more you love yourself, the more self-worth you have. The more you love yourself, the more others love you, the more powerful your relationships become. The more self-worth you build, the more net worth you build. The more net worth you build, the more you're marrying your heart's desires with true matter in this world. And that's when you are living at your fullest potential. So please join me. If you're not in the challenge, please do join me. It's free. We're on day 3 today, so it's still early, okay? Still early. It's plenty of time. This week, we're focusing on just 100% just on what it is that's running us, what we're feeling angst about, anxiety about, or challenged by, right? Next week, we're focusing on money, all things money. And I have a wicked guidance process lined up for next week. So next week is going to be amazing. All things money, all things wealth building. And then the following week is the cherry on the cake, is the piece de resistance. It is all about your life, your legacy. That's when everything starts coming together. Watch how it transforms for you if you're taking part, because nothing will be the same again. I always say you can transform your life in 60 days. I know it, I've done it, I've worked with people to do it. And here's the thing, when people think about transforming your life in 60 days, I'm putting it onto a trajectory that you would love, that is aligned with your values, your purpose, and exactly what it is you would love to be, do, and have. A lot of people think that means making big decisions, like maybe leaving a relationship, or leaving a job, or changing careers, or whatever it is. They think it's big decisions. You know what? 9 times out of 10, it's not. But that we will reveal why and how in the challenge. So come and join me in the challenge if you're not. If you are, I trust you're enjoying it, and keep on with it. And I will see you guys at 11:11 today UK time inside the group Wealth Breakthrough for today's mentoring session. Okay guys, take care. Bye.